Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to my guest teacher for being here during fifth and sixth period. Fifth and sixth period, I know you guys will have a great day today and get some pretty simple stuff done today, so we can continue on tomorrow with our very important notes that are going to get you a lot of stuff that you need for your assessment that you're going to write at the end of next week. Today we're going to be reading from our textbook. I have the information here right in your packet. It's a very, very short section on the causes of the Protestant Reformation. And so yesterday, if you remember, we did our need to knows. And so at the end of the screencast today, I talked to you a little bit about your Quizlet and doing that, since we probably didn't get time to do it yesterday. Today I'm going to teach you something that I call a Twitter summary. I know that some of you are on social media. My favorite social media is Twitter. I know that's probably an old person social media right now, but it's the one that works the best for me. And so I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to do a Twitter summary. And why I think it's the best way to do a summary. I know some of you guys, if I asked you if I were there, put your hands up about who hates writing summaries. I would imagine that 75 to 80% of my class would put their hands up and say they hate writing summaries. So I'm going to teach you a very interesting and new way to write a summary that will still get you all of the things that you need from a certain section of reading, a paragraph, whatever, but have you do it in hopefully a little bit more creative way that has your brain kind of work in some different ways as you do that. Teach you a little bit how to use emojis if you don't already know how to use emojis on a Google Doc, and we'll go from there today. So very quickly, your job today, in order to be successful, right, you're going to understand the basics causes of the Protestant Reformation by taking notes in your own words, which are our Twitter summaries out here. And you'll notice that there are three sections. So there's a section on the causes of the Reformation. There's a section on abuses within the church right here, and a section on the early reformers, one of which we talked a little bit about yesterday. His name is Jan Hus. So all you need to get done today are your three Twitter summaries right there. You see them. I just worked backwards there. And if you have not already done it, you notice you get 2 points this week and next for your need to knows. One is for copying the definitions as we did yesterday, and the other point will be for putting your link to your Quizlet here in the bottom. So I'm going to get to that at the end of our screencast today. So here's what we're going to do today, and here's how to do a Twitter summary. So I'm going to read for you. During the Renaissance, Christians from all levels of society grew impatient with the corruption of the clergy and the worldliness of the Catholic Church, right? So people from all levels of society grew impatient with the corruption, right? So we're going to highlight that. People are upset at the clergy, which is the priests and stuff like that. So then they give you the words of this one peasant. Instead of saving the souls of the dead and sending them to heaven, the clergy gorge themselves at banquets after funerals. So they're eating a lot when they should be essentially helping out their people. They are wicked wolves. They would like to devour us all, dead or alive. Right? So these people from the Middle Ages, as we talked about previous few weeks when we talked about the Black Death, right? These people who are not very intelligent, who are waiting for the church to tell them what to do, they're not happy with the way the church is treating them. From such bitterness sprang new calls for reform. During the Middle Ages, the church had renewed itself from within. In the 1500s, however, the movement for reform unleashed forces that would shatter Christian unity in Europe. This reform movement is known as the Protestant Reformation. Okay, so you notice down here it says the movement for reform unleashed forces that would shatter Christian unity in Europe. We're going to highlight that as well. And that's right around the 1500s. Again, I told you all that you probably don't need to be remembering dates, but general dates like the 1500s, good things to know. So, and then the movement, obviously known as the Protestant Reformation, as we got from our title there. So, what do we put in our summary? Now we got two paragraphs here, both pretty small, but some pretty basic information here. So, what are we going to use to do a Twitter summary? Twitter, when it first came out, and it's reformed a little bit, but Twitter, when it first came out, was a platform that only allowed you to use 140 characters. A space is a character. An L, a Q is a character. Any letter, any exclamation point, any emoji, anything that takes up a space is a character. So we want to be very thrifty in how we use our character count. 140 characters is not much. So what we need to do is break down this section here, first section here, and the second section into essentially 140 characters that gets the same idea across. So we're going to talk about Christians here, and they're impatient. They're mad at the Catholic Church. So impatient, big word. We could probably use the word mad. Kind of means the same thing in this. If you look at this, right, they're wicked wolves. They think the church is coming to destroy them, essentially. So let's start here, and we can go with Christians. Don't have a really great, better abbreviation for that right now. So we can go with Christians. You could say thought, but felt is probably easier. So F-E-L-T. Now, in a Twitter summary, you can take out like articles. You can take out a, and the, and it essentially will mean the same thing. So you could say Christians felt that the church, you can just take those out. Felt church. So we could write church if we wanted to, but let's not do that. I'm going to show you how to put an emoji in here. So everybody go up to insert. Give you a second. Guest teacher, if you want to pause at any point in me doing this to make sure kids are all doing it again, or if the kid raises his hand and says, I didn't get that, can you rewind? Feel free to do that. So here we go. We're going to go insert and then emoji, and you will notice a emoji search comes up. Now the easy ones, all the faces and all that kind of stuff come up right here. Now we can go, they felt mad. Let's do that. We were going to put church, but I saw this mad face right here. Let's go. They felt mad, right? At who? And instead of saying at, we can save character counts by just using the ampersand, right? Not the ampersand, the at button. At, instead of saying church, we can go insert emoji again. So insert emoji, and this is where we're going to go the first time. And we're going to type in church. And look at that. It gives you a nice little church right there. So they felt mad at church and priests, but let's not do and, let's use the ampersand. That's the ampersand. And priests, that's who they mean by clergy. Christians felt mad at church and priests about what? The worldliness of the Catholic Church. Let's highlight that there. So the worldliness, what does worldliness mean? Well, if a church is a church, they're supposed to be concerned with like heaven. Like this Christian church is supposed to be concerned with like getting people to heaven. Worldliness means they're not really concerned with that. They're concerned with like, in this case, they're concerned with like banquets, right? And eating food and all the things that like church people shouldn't be worried about, like feasting and gorging themselves. So let's use the church, mad at the church and priests, put an apostrophe right there. And let's insert another emoji here, just for fun. We're going to get our brain to like think in visuals. And let's type in world. Let's see if we can get a globe. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Got a globe right here. Done. World. And then I'm going to put Lee-ness. Lee-ness. Yeah, there we go. Worldliness. Perfect. People are mad. So let's put a period. We kind of finished that first section here. Right? Done. Let's see what character count. Probably not a lot here, but we're going to go highlight. I'm going to show you how to look at character count. So you go highlight all of the things you want to see what your character count is. Click tools and then click word count. And you will notice that at characters, I'm at 40. So I basically have 41. I have 100 characters left. So we have not used very much. Gives me 6 words here and 41 characters. All right. So we're going to move on. Remember, spaces are characters too. Now, at this bottom, so what did people want? People, and let's abbreviate people, right? PPL instead of PEOPLE. We're going to save some characters here. Now, we might not get to 140, but what I'm teaching you to do is make your brain shrink things so that then you can expand it later. It's a nice little trick to help you remember things. So we're going to go people wanted reform. All right. When? I know we have 100 characters, so let's go. In 1500s. And so what happens? This idea of unleashed forces, we don't know what forces those are, right? But we know that Christians, and what is unity? Unity is coming together. So Christians are going to end up being separated, right? So Christian unity would be shattered, as it says right here, which means that Christians get kind of pulled apart. So let's put that idea in here. Christians get pulled apart during, now check our word count here because we've added more words instead of emojis. Highlight it, we'll go tools and word count again, and we're at 104, so we got a little more to work with. This is fine. Christians get pulled apart during Protestant, and let's not write the whole thing, Reformation. Put a period there, and then let's check the whole thing here. Tools and word count again. We got 123. We are in perfect shape right there. Now, the best thing about these Twitter summaries is that you are essentially taking some big ideas here, these 2 paragraphs. You are boiling them down into little tiny snippets without using like filler words, right? We didn't use the, we didn't use a, we didn't use and, we didn't use that, none of those things were used. We used all kind of big words and big concepts when we get to like the church here, and when we get to people feeling angry, right? And so now, if you were to go back and read this, so let's say it's next week, and you're coming back to look at this section of notes, and this is the reason you write a summary, is to go, well, what was that section? What was this section right here about? I can look at this and go, okay, Christians felt, what did that mean? Oh, they were angry at who? That's a church. Okay, and priests, and I can look up, now I don't remember this. Okay, that's worldliness. Oh, okay, yeah, they're concerned about non-Christian things. People wanted reform in the 1500s. Christians get pulled apart during the Protestant Reformation. Pretty good summary of that section. Notice all of it's in our own words. We didn't plagiarize or copy anything. And we got a nice little summary here. So your job today is to take these next 2 sections and on your own, take that section right there on abuses within the church. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 sections, so you got to be really picky about what you're putting in your Twitter summary because you still only have 140 characters. And then this last section on the early reformers, and we have some names here. Oh, also, look at this. We got some need-to-know words, indulgences, vernacular, Jan Hus. Same thing in this. You probably should include some of those need-to-know words in your Twitter summaries. So that is what you need to do for the rest of the period today. Also, your link to your Quizlet should be there. So, Quizlet.com, for those of you that had done this, Quizlet.com, and I can't type today. And there we go. So now you go up here, remember, to Quizlet.com, and you go create, and you're going to create a study set. And you are going to give that study set a title, TP number 2, Protestant Reformation. And you're going to go down here and you're going to start entering terms. So in your first term, you should have purgatory. And you should have my definition, the one that's in your packet. You should just take that, copy and paste, Control C, go back here, Control V, click an image. It's going to give you a thing of, oh, this is a good one, a painting about purgatory. We're going to put that in there after your definition is. You're going to go down, you're going to enter all of your terms here, all of the definitions. If you need to keep adding cards, because this only goes to 5, keep adding cards. At the end, click create. and you will have a new study set. If you go to your study set once it's created, like I have here, you're going to, in order to copy and paste your link down in the Quizlet, go down here, click on the share button right there, and it will come up with a copy link. Take that link, you put, once you're done, this is once you're done with your 13 or 14 terms, however many there are, and you link it in there, press enter, and it becomes a link, and you are ready to go. So those are your things that you need to get done today. The rest of your Twitter summaries, only 2 more, and your Quizlet flashcards linked into your packet. The rest of the time should be independent workday. Good luck. I will see you guys on Wednesday when I get back. I am at a district World Studies meeting, so I'm advocating for this class with the other people, other leaders in the district. So I will be back tomorrow. Good luck. And if you have any questions, feel free to rewind, consult the video, ask the guest teacher, all those things. Good luck. Have a great day, everybody.